So we're actually here today at Virginia Tech. We're covering Super Tuesday and the primary elections that are going on today. Akanksha is from India. Actually, she just stopped by and said, "Hey, what is going on today?" And we let her know, "Hey, there's actually a presidential primary elections here today." She's not actually able to vote. She's from India. She's not able to vote in our election, but being that India is the biggest democracy in the world, I was hoping that you might be able to shed some light on how elections are done in India, and so give us a kind of a different perspective on how elections are run in other countries.
So, like in the US, you have the Democrats and the Republicans. So basically, there's just two sort of like we call them parties fighting for the place. But in India, we have a lot of parties, like a lot of parties, and sometimes what happens, some of the parties that are like not majority ones, they come together to form a coalition of sorts so that they can like try for more votes and try to win against the bigger parties. So yeah, like we have a few major parties like the BJP, the Indian National Congress, you might have heard of it. So right now the BJP is in power. But then again, it's not just the BJP, because a single party, it's very difficult. Like, it's rarely happened, I think, in India, that a single party has completely won the elections.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, so it's a huge country, and then there are so many parties that all the votes get divided at the end of the day. And to have the majority, it's very difficult for one party. So basically, parties come together, they form policies where both of them can, like, both, or even when there are multiple parties, they can all agree upon a few basic policies and principles to, like, lead the next few years of the government.
Okay.
So even right now, like, the BJP is in power, but then it's, as I said, it's not alone, it's with a few other parties.
Okay. So they could kind of establish some sort of platform based on a few things that they can agree on?
Yeah,
they form
exactly.
that kind of coalition? And
Exactly, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Really, really cool.
So, yeah, I guess that way it's different. Plus, like, here what happens is, like, from what I've noticed, there are multiple candidates from the same, like, the Democrats or the Republicans can have more than one candidate, right? So, in India, when we are voting, we're not voting for a candidate, we're basically voting for the party. And the party then gets to decide which candidate they will like put up as their representative.
Now, do you like things being that way, or would you rather be able to kind of vote for the candidate as opposed to the party?
I think the idea of voting for a candidate is pretty cool because like the fact that you don't know who will be ruling the country later is kind of scary in a way.
Yeah,
because
I would think.
like okay, so at the end of the day, it's not just one person who's going to make all the decisions, absolutely. It's going to be the party, the principles, the beliefs of the party, definitely.
Right.
But still, it gives you a better idea of the way things might be governed in the coming few years. So yeah, I would be more comfortable if I knew that there would be this one person who would be holding the power.
Okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool. So are there any other ways that you think that India could improve the elections, or maybe even the way that you guys vote?
I think, like, compared to the US elections, I think India could do with a little more transparency in terms of how they internally select the people who are going to come to power.
Okay.
Like, a lot of times what we see is it's the party politics that plays, and so, like, sometimes what I have observed is that the deserving candidates might not come to the position of power. And when we are voting, since we're voting for the party, we're looking at the people who we think might be able to best rule. But then at the end of the day, because of some internal politics and stuff, that doesn't really happen.
Yeah.
So I think that sort of affects the entire country.
That makes sense. I think transparency is really, really important.
Yeah, very important.
Now, with respect to transparency, do you guys have kind of a transparent voting process? Like, how do you actually vote on your ballots? Do you do paper, electronic?
We used to do paper, but now it's mostly electronic in most of the places. I'm not sure. There are probably a few villages in some parts of the country that still don't have the electronic system. But yeah, pretty much most of the country now has electronic voting.
Cool.
So yeah, like we have symbols for each party on the
Yeah,
electronic system.
So are these like electronic, like typical electronic voting machines, or are they? Okay, so one of the things that we found out here in the United States is that a lot of these electronic voting machines have some serious security vulnerabilities. Like for instance,
Right.
like the WinVote here in Virginia, the WinVote voting machines were decertified by Governor Gary McAuliffe back in May
Okay.
because they found out that someone with a laptop computer could sit in a centralized polling location and hack into the wireless network and actually get into the voting system and change like thousands of votes without anyone being able to
Actually
tell.
scary.
Yeah, and they found out that with using a username admin and password ABCDEF, they were able to just log in. So
Oh,
it was that easy.
That is very scary, actually.
Yeah. Have you heard of anything like that ever happening in India?
Yes, I have. I am not sure if it's that easy to hack into the systems
Yeah.
there, but yeah, definitely. Like every time the elections come, there is some or the other news about like the votes being taken away because of some sort of hacking, or sometimes it's like even the like when the numbers are traveling from one place to another, like in between the numbers get changed. And yeah, I mean, I have heard we have a lot of news during the elections
Yeah.
every year. So, but yeah, I'm not sure if it's this easy like you're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah. I mean,
That
it
is-
very well could be. You know, yeah, I'm not.
Probably.
Yeah. So I want to tell you a little bit about the Follow My Vote project and get your thoughts
Okay.
on that. So I'm actually the founder and CEO of Follow My Vote, and we're actually at the Virginia Tech Corporate Research Center
Okay.
here in
that's
town. Yeah, yeah, and we're developing an open source, end-to-end verifiable online voting system for use in elections worldwide. And so when I say verifiable, what that means is that you can actually vote in the election, and then you can follow your vote into the ballot box and confirm that your vote was securely stored just as you cast it. You can literally see your vote in the ballot box and count it. And not only that, you can conduct a recount of the entire election. You can go through the ballot box and count every single vote to make sure that the vote totals that are being reported are true and accurate.
That
Do you-
is actually pretty cool.
Do you think like that would be something useful in India? Do you think that they would
Absolutely. I
respond well to
think
that?
that is something which adds to the transparency.
Right.
And I think it's really cool that somebody can actually see the voting, like especially the counting. Okay, fine, I voted and I can see my vote. That is one thing.
Yeah.
But like seeing the counting while it's being done, that makes it, I think, even more difficult for someone to mess it up in case someone's trying to hack the system or whatever.
Right.
Because there will be people who will be keeping tab on the number of votes, the count. So suddenly somebody can't change like the number of votes or the votes themselves. So I think, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, cool. Well, I'm really, really glad you think that way.
Absolutely. And like, is that a secure system?
Yeah, and on that note, I was just going to tell you that we're actually securing our ballot box with blockchain technology.
Okay.
Have you heard of blockchain technology?
I've heard of it, but I'm not sure what exactly.
So blockchain
it does.
technology is actually the underlying technology behind Bitcoin. Have you heard of Bitcoin? It's a digital currency, right? It actually
Okay, yeah,
was
yeah.
introduced to the world in 2009. And for the last 7 years, it has yet to be hacked. In 7 years, the entire system has not even been hacked once. And
Wow, that is really cool.
right now, there's about $6.5 billion of value stored in Bitcoin. So if someone could hack it, they'd be $6.5 billion richer. They could hack it and just give themselves all that money. So that same technology, we're securing our ballot box with.
That is cool.
And so we really we really firmly believe that we figured out the security model with respect to bringing elections online once and for all. Not only that, making them verifiable. So really, at the end of the day, we're going to be the company that brings a presidential election to your smartphone.
That would be epic.
Epic, right? Even in India,
Absolutely.
too.
Even in India,
Even
yeah.
in India.
Like, smartphones are everywhere now. So I think that since it makes it so convenient, I think a lot of more people would be interested in voting. And like, going to a place and like especially going for voting, registering and all that, sometimes it becomes a hassle for a few people. So I think the idea of voting right on your phone wherever you are, I think that's pretty cool.
Really awesome. Well, thank you so much. I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
you being willing to talk with us for a few minutes today.
Absolutely.
All right.
And
well,
thanks for the information.
absolutely. Check us out. Go to followmyvote.com
Okay.
and you can learn all about our project.
Okay.
And yeah, tell your friends. Tell your
Absolutely,
family.
yeah.
Tell everyone.
I
Because we
will.
want to see this adopted here. We want to see this adopted in India. And we want to see this
Be
worldwide.
really good.
All right. Really, really cool. Awesome.